Hello everyone, I am in Tamera right now. It's a peace research village in Portugal, and I've been coming to this place since 2019 regularly to really learn what it means to be a peace worker, and also taking the question for me and working with the question of how I can create peace firstly within myself, and ultimately how can I create peace wherever I go. How can I live in collaboration with nature, with animals, with other human beings. And it's a very deep research which encompasses all sorts of topics and issues that we as a collective, as a society, are facing on a daily basis. And it's not just learning on a theoretical level, but really being in the field, in a space where you can just dive into the experiences and learn. Sometimes by trial and error, sometimes by just following the line of curiosity and the line of where it takes you, like energetically. And since 2019, I've been involved in supporting the community in their kitchens. So I've been working as a kitchen chef here, providing meals for guests, for community members, currently for around 60 people, sometimes more, sometimes less. And also having a team around me. And a topic that is currently moving within me is the topic of leadership. And I already mentioned it in a previous video of mine that I shared that I feel that the ways we lead are changing. So there's like a new generation or new age leadership arising, and also feeling it within myself that there is something in me really burning for this topic, because I also see myself as a leader. And having a team around that supports me with creating meals for the community and for guests, it also brings up a lot of topics of authority, of guidance, of interpersonal questions and issues. And I mean, I don't have all the answers, but what stands up for me is that there is something about this new generation leadership where it is not so much about there's a person knowing a certain vision and telling the people underneath what needs to be done. And I think we all kind of have experienced how it might feel, if there's someone above us, some sort of an authority telling us what to do. Like for me, it creates a lot of tension, and I don't like that at all. Because what usually happens in that kind of scenarios is that when, for instance, I have another idea and I want to bring it in, then I don't feel heard or seen, or my ideas are being dismissed and not taken into consideration. So what does it mean to be a new generation leader? Or sometimes I also call it a holistic leadership style. How does it look? How does it feel? and talking just from my own experience, it's something connected to, as a leader, being able to hold space for the whole team. There is a vision, let's say during the cooking shift, okay, we have the vision of preparing a meal, a buffet for 60 people, and it has to contain carbs, protein, vitamins, vegetables, different salads. You know, there is like a certain structure already in place that has been already agreed within the community and also with the guests that are coming in. So they kind of already know, this is what it is to be fed here, or anyways, don't want to go into the details, but as a leader, there is the vision, and you have that kind of agreement also with the team. That's what we're doing, and now let's create this meal together. And as a leader, because of your experience, because also of your wisdom of what works, what doesn't work, what people like, what they don't like, taking into consideration also different maybe allergies or different special needs and all of these complexities. And with this information that a leader has, how can they now create a process for the team, so they all feel that they're really participating in this co-creation. So, and before I even start the shift, I do a check-in. I ask for how everyone is feeling, how the day was, the previous day, what is currently alive in them, moving them, like the personal stuff. That's really important, isn't it? Also this curiosity for my team. It's like, who are you as a person? What is bringing you here to this place? Why do you want to be part of this? How can I support you with maybe your special needs at certain points in time? Maybe you're going through something personally. How can I be in service for your needs? How can I integrate this into this whole shift, into the co-creation process, that everyone feels heard, seen, recognized, taken care of in a safe container that I as a leader provide. It's like this somehow of a motherly role that I'm taking, but still connected to the vision, still connected to the different complexities that are at play, and giving the team an orientation and structure. And if I have the feeling, the energy is now going somewhere else and it's actually not very efficient or effective because we have a certain vision or certain product to get to achieve, then I gently bring them back, in like to the agreed path and journey. So that's kind of that. And also allowing for any other circumstances, influences from the outside, the environment. And as an example, for the kitchen, there may be something stops working, the water is not working, or the gas is completely off and empty, and like, whoa, okay, what are we going to do with this situation? Also taking into account that there are also some unexpected things that can happen. And how can you also make the team aware of it, so that it's not just you taking care of that it starts working, but the whole team feels the responsibility, so that the whole team actually is somehow a leader. And I guess the topic of responsibility is also playing into yeah, has an importance here. Yeah, but it's a huge topic also by itself that I don't want to touch right now. Yeah, and stepping, yeah, and when we're saying it's a new generation leadership, where are we coming from? You know, it's like a historic past, the history of leadership, that we realize this is not working the way we lead. And the question for me is, how can we slowly transition out of those old paradigm leadership structures of power over, of some sort of hierarchies, of force, of punishment, you know, even if it's maybe done in subtle ways. Like, if you don't perform in this way, you will be fired. You know, that's kind of like pretty huge and existential as well, especially for people involved. So how can we bring in qualities of empathy and understanding, and really wanting to know what is alive in the people that you're actually leading? Yeah. And I really like this quote. I don't know where it's coming from, but it goes like this: I serve by leading, and I lead by serving. Yeah. Something to sink in, let it sink in, and maybe move. Yeah, there's so much in this very short sentence. Yeah, that really resonates with me. Yeah. And I guess personal development is also a huge priority in teams, especially for leaders. Like, what kind of leaders do we actually invite to lead the teams? And we know that probably we all had maybe one leader, one boss who was not aware of their own issues, or was not consciously working on their own issues, like some ego issues. I don't want to go into it, but you know what I mean. It's and it creates tension in the team, and it creates something that cannot be, where feedback cannot really provide it to the leaders. And I feel like there should be some sort of feedback structure, but for that you really have to have that safe container of where everyone feels heard and seen. There is no punishment for saying certain things, where I feel free to express myself, where I don't have to be afraid of, God, if I'm gonna say this, then I'll be fired, or my reputation is like gone, or whatever. All these issues that are at play during working spaces. Yeah, and how can we transform them? And by transforming them, we need to start looking at our own issues. We need to start making them fully transparent for ourselves, and then ultimately also for the team, so that everyone knows what's going on innerly. Yeah, I know these are like the out of the box, really progressive ideas, and I have the feeling it's the time now for that kind of ideas, because the way we lead, it's just not working, and we need new ideas and new inspirations to come through. Yeah, and another thing, last thing that I would like to mention is, let's say you implement all of these ideas, you have a beautifully held space where everyone can be themselves, where everyone feels seen and heard. And I'm also having this example with my cooking shifts. Every time we had a beautiful shift with a lot of harmony and love and appreciation for each other, There was a co-creation process. We had a calm shift, no stress involved, a lot of beautiful talks, and huge levels of transparency and vulnerabilities, and really sharing from the heart. Then those were the moments where people were just raving about the food, even though it was just simple food as usual. But people were like, wow, this food is amazing. It tastes so good. And in the end, everything is energy. And all of this energy that is being in the space is also being transported into your end product, into the outcome. So that's also something to consider. Yeah. And I personally want to create some sort of offers. I don't know quite yet how, but it's definitely on my mind. I want to create some offerings for leaders, for companies, for businesses, to start creating some sort of communal structures where trust and transparency and appreciation for each other and being heard and recognized, and also a level of inner work and transformation can all be part, also in alignment with how we can create a certain outcome that is in alignment, that is in cooperation with nature and with animals, other human beings. Yeah, so how can we create more peace in the world through the ways we lead, and also through our end products and outcomes as a business and company. Yeah. Thank you for listening, and you will probably hear more from me on this topic. Ciao.